the process we went through is we decided we were moving into the High Meadow Ranch. Our real estate agent told us, gave us the names of 5 custom builders that had built inside of High Meadow Ranch, that understood the requirements of High Meadow Ranch and all the things, the idiosyncrasies of all that needed to be done to build in there. And so I took that list and then I proceeded to call them because I wanted to set up appointments to go talk to them and get a feel for who they were and help them or have them answer some questions for us. It just so happens that all 4 of the 5 did not answer their phones. I got voice message. And so I left them a message. When I called Jay, J.W. Nethery, Jay answered the phone, which I thought was highly unusual for the man that owns the business to answer his own phone. So we had a conversation for about 20-30 minutes. We talked about what was, we talked about what we were thinking and we made an appointment to meet with him. And so we went and sat down with Jay and Sandy and we just had a really great conversation. We talked through all the things. I love the fact that he was very candid. He was very decisive, but yet he listened and he gave us ideas and thoughts. We never called the other 4 back. Jay, we were sold that Jay was the right guy. And we had been praying about this house and if this was the right choice and lead us the right direction, put us in the right place, and we were just comfortable that Jay was the right person. And
set up an appointment with the architect.
Yeah, he gave us an architect's name and we went and met with the architect. And the other part about it was Jay was like an advisor for us. He was at all the meetings. Every time we met with the architect, Jay was there. He was candid. He didn't, he gave us his opinions. He gave us things to think about.
When we asked.
Yeah, he would, obviously he didn't, just spout off, but it was easy to say, Jay, what do you think? Jay, what do you recommend? How about this? And he was always very candid, and sometimes we didn't like the idea, but the more we thought about it, the better the decision we made. So that's how we came to make the decision with J.W. Nethery, and that's why we were so tickled we picked him to build this out.
I would be lying if I didn't say it was stressful. Just because of what I made it out to be. It wasn't stressful because of the builder per se. I added the stress. I was wanting my house done sooner than it was supposed to be. And so, but like anything, quality better than the time. It made sense as we were in the building process to have it done right. And it was nice to see that with Nethery Homes, it is done right. There were time and time again where I was happy with something, and because it was not, for lack of a better word, perfect in the eyes of the builder or our superintendent Jeremy, we ripped it out and redid it. And so that added to our time frame, and I was adamant about wanting to be in by a specific time. And so I was the one that added the stress, I think, to the process. I was amazed at really how simple, even though it was stressful, it was simple in that co-construct. For those that are not aware, it's a program, or it's an app that you go on, and it's a communication app is what it is for the builder, all of the, I guess, what do you call them, contractors, suppliers, whatever, and the homeowner, where you can go on and you can keep in communication and see what's been done, the timeline, what needs to be done by the homeowner. to go and pick out, choices and where it just has everything on it. So that made the process very easy as far as knowing what I needed to do or what we needed to do, when we needed to have it done by, where to go, who to contact. It is just an amazing thing to use, and I would highly recommend it for anybody that is involved in the process. I'm trying to think if there was just really anything negative as far as the building process, other than, just wanting to be in the house and seeing the things that were going on and not, knowing that weather affected it. That was frustrating because I think we had one of our wettest seasons ever when we're trying to build a house, and but really I don't have anything.
Well, I would add that the stress was created because of the app. Because Kathy can't let anything sit there and not get her immediate attention. So if that popped up, she was on it. But the best part about Jeremy and even Jay, we would talk about various things, and she was concerned about various things, and they would try to resolve those by giving her examples or painting out samples so we could see ahead of time what it looked like. They were always trying to make sure she was comfortable that the decisions we made were appropriate. And there's times where the Adobe the stucco, we were concerned about that. And so we went through a lot of iterations. Jeremy got, professionals, like numbers for me to call people at Sherwin-Williams to talk about those things. All those things helped us to make decisions, even though what turned out was not originally what we liked. They were quick to resolve that. And so, being a custom home, we wanted to make sure everything was perfect. And I know everything can't be perfect, but they were always willing to try to take the steps to make that happen.
Well, and I'll add too, just to piggyback on that, as a custom home and as a person who's doing this for the first time, and you have this vision in your head about what you're wanting and the color choices and all of that, and then as it's happening, you start second guessing. Did I choose the right floor color? Did I choose the right
Not
wall?
everybody does that.
I do, and it just, because what I saw in my head, I was just praying that it would all come together. And thankfully it did, with some tweaking of stucco coloring. We had it all painted and we didn't like it, and oh my gosh, we had to change that color. And the bricks that were originally ordered that I had chosen, they came in and they were not right. And it was no fault of the builder, it was the fault of us. But Nethery, everyone in that company helped us get what we wanted and rectify things that we did wrong or that I did wrong or choices that I made that I wasn't happy with.
Well, it wasn't always their fault, but they were always looking for the resolution to get it the way we wanted it. That was always impressive about it. Didn't matter whose fault it was. We did what we had to do. And we made changes along the way. And that obviously, helped magnify the time frame, but we changed rooms, we made some change orders, we did some things which Jay had warned us, these things are going to come up, and when they come up, we need to talk through them and make sure you're comfortable with what we're going to do, and we'll move forward that way. So it was always very open conversation, nothing ever guarded. Jeremy was always, let me show you this, and so that openness was just made us feel comfortable.
Communication was
that communication, the openness, the willingness to do whatever it took, was helped make it a little less stressful, even though it still was.
Beyond happy. We couldn't have been happier. I still can't believe that this is really my forever home. I have to pinch myself every day coming home, pulling up, being happy with, just the outside elevations, walking inside and just loving it. I feel like this is where we need to be. Happy to be here, and couldn't be happier about the quality. Couldn't be happier about everything, the choices that we made.
You know, we've had a few things that weren't exactly right or didn't operate exactly like they should. You call Jeremy, he's over here within, in 24 hours and it gets resolved. So, as far as, it wasn't perfect. Nothing's ever perfect right off the bat, but anytime we discovered something that wasn't exactly like it should have been, they were spot on, they were quick to resolve it, and so we've been very tickled about. As far as the construction of the house and the way it's designed and how it's built and all that, couldn't have been done any better than, it's better than we even envisioned it to be. So when I look back, I just know that J.W. Nethery was the right person to help us build this house. And the end result is a perfect example of that. And so we're just ecstatic about the way it turned out. The view is really not as great. The view is even better than when we first looked or stood up on the pad and looked out. It's just amazing what it turned out to be. So we're just extremely ecstatic, and J. Nethery is like family to us now. We spend so much time together. We're like family, but they're always there. So we highly recommend them to anybody to build a home.